Meu Deus, que lindo! Gente, vem cá, vem cá. Olha que lindo! Que lindo! Vem pra gente!
The original Resident Evil 4 was released in 2005 and revolutionized the gaming industry, especially a subgenre of first-person shooter. It introduced the over-the-shoulder camera perspective, which became an inspiration for many subsequent action and survival horror games. The gameplay shifted from the slow-paced survival horror of previous entries to a more action-oriented approach. And let's not forget about fast-paced combat, quick-time events, and an emphasis on intense gunfights. Not to mention it had a dynamic AI system that made enemies more intelligent and responsive. Cinematic cutscenes, dramatic camera angles, and high-quality graphics significantly raised the bar for presentation in video games at the time. A quick example, just as Resident Evil 4 borrowed codec communications from Metal Gear Solid, another masterpiece, other games will borrow features introduced in RE4 because it was brave to be innovative and successful enough for others to stare at it and say, "Damn, how about we borrow this feature for our game as well?" Factors that I mentioned, combined with Capcom's remake streak, is why 17 years later Capcom made a remake. And guess what? The remake turned out to be a blast. So what makes a remake of a 17-year-old game better than the majority of modern original games? What makes this game so perfectly crafted that it is a joy to play regardless of whether you're familiar with the original RE4 or not? Let's analyze and find out the top 5 reasons behind its stellar success without any significant spoilers.
You don't seem surprised. Interesting.
Reason number 1. Pacing. The pacing of Resident Evil 4, and even more so in its remake, is among the best you can experience in a game. It is intense, gripping, and intriguing. At one moment, you find yourself meticulously counting every single bullet, taking cover in a village house surrounded by strangely coordinated zombies. You know that survival depends on running when necessary. You tactically use your ammo and surroundings as death lurks close by. The next moment, you engage in a thrilling knife duel or embark on an exploration through an eerie castle. This is the kind of game where time slips away as you become fully absorbed. It's an absolute blast from start to finish. Resident Evil 4 seamlessly transitions between pure survival horror and an action-packed cinematic experience, all within a perfectly crafted sequence. The flow is so seamless that you hardly even notice the shift thanks to the game's remarkable fluidity. It is one of those rare games where you may temporarily lose your sense of time due to its immersive nature. The alternating rhythm and constant changes in gameplay keep you fully engaged and invested in the storyline as you progress, which brings us to the next compelling reason.
Do make sure our guest feels at home, now that he has chosen death.
Reason number 2. Flowing change of scenery. The Resident Evil 4 remake features a captivating array of different areas and main sections that offer varied gameplay experiences throughout the entire game. It all begins in a small, isolated village that conveys a unique atmosphere, setting the tone for the intense and atmospheric survival horror gameplay that awaits. From there, you may find yourself immersed in the regal ambience of a castle, encountering cult enemies dressed in weird robes as you try to stay alive and pursue your objective. But fear not, I won't spoil too much. Each area in the game showcases distinct level design, enemy encounters, and puzzles, providing a profound sense of progression and diversity as you journey through the game. The changes in area design and enemy encounters contribute to the overall fluidity of Resident Evil 4, enhancing the immersive experience it offers. An impressive variety of enemies that pose unique challenges require different strategies to overcome. Thoughtfully crafted levels, strategic enemy placement, intelligent enemy AI all contribute to the exceptional game design. It creates an immersive and mentally stimulating experience that compels you to activate your remaining brain cells and become fully invested in the game.
I love a good hug!
Ashley, it was you. Catch on quick! Didn't I teach you? Knives are
Reason number 3. Masterfully improved gameplay. For several years now, Capcom has held the crown as the king of excellent remakes, and their streak continues. Every aspect of the game has been reworked and redesigned, from its narrative and gameplay mechanics to the voice acting and level design. It recreates that feeling of playing a truly great game for the first time, while incorporating changes that elevate the experience to new heights of satisfaction. Much like its predecessor, gunplay lies at the core of the gameplay experience, and it does not disappoint. The weapons feel incredible to handle, striking a perfect balance between a sense of heft and responsiveness. Every shot delivers a gratifying impact. The enemy's reactions to this impact are even more satisfying, adding another layer of immersion to combat encounters. One of the most noticeable changes is the introduction of stealth tactics, allowing players to conserve precious ammunition for more challenging encounters. This places a strong emphasis on resource management, particularly when playing on harder difficulty levels, as I personally did. The upgraded combat mechanics introduce new elements such as kicks and knife parries, enhancing the depth and variety of combat encounters. Reason number 4. Impressive visuals and optimization. Graphically, it undergoes a complete overhaul, delivering stunning visuals that are well optimized for PC. While minor issues may arise here and there, they can be easily resolved by adjusting the graphic settings to suit your playthrough of the game. Running on Capcom's flexible RE engine, which has powered the majority of the company's recent games since Resident Evil 7, the RE4 Remake doesn't make ridiculous hardware demands. One of the standout improvements lies in the lighting system overhaul. Certain sections now require Leon to utilize a torch, enhancing the sense of immersion and building tension as you explore the darkened environments. You can't precisely discern the whereabouts of an enemy, but can hear their unsettling mutterings in the distance. The character designs have received a significant upgrade, resulting in more realistic portrayals and an attention to detail that was simply unattainable during the development of the original game. As a result, the remake showcases outstanding performance, at least on PC, and solid graphics. Its graphical enhancements, including revamped lighting and improved character designs, contribute to an immersive and visually pleasant gameplay experience. Reason number 5. Enemy design. Resident Evil 4 introduced a cast of iconic enemies that have become associated with the franchise, such as chainsaw-wielding Dr. Salvador and the bone-chilling Regenerators. Each enemy type presents a distinct set of challenges and demands tactics to overcome. The combat mechanics in Resident Evil 4 are designed to keep players alert, engaged, and thinking. Every interaction with an enemy is different but readable. They have varied skills, weapons, and behaviors, which they almost always clearly signpost, and their environments guide their approaches in interesting ways. The levels in which you face them add an extra layer of thrill. Fluidly switching between different tactics and weapons becomes essential, since the proximity and location of each enemy really affects the flow of each encounter. Yet, defeating challenging enemies when you find the right approach truly brings joy, and you as a player become better and better throughout the whole game, thanks to the variety of challenges the RE4 throws at you. Thanks for watching the video. What do you think about Resident Evil 4? I would really like to know your opinion on the game, and for any sort of feedback, I will have one sip of water. Don't forget to stay hydrated, and cheers everyone!